So it was 1997. I had just opened my doors. I had no customers. I had no money. I had to figure out, how am I going to put some business on the books? How am I going to protect some customers? And so I had been to all these meetings, all these market meetings. I had talked to my manager, talked to other agents, and they all said the same thing. Go meet some mortgage brokers. They'll send you business. So I would go into these offices, and it was really odd, but on every single one of their lunch tables, I would see magnets, I'd see pens, I'd see business cards from every insurance company out there. They were all just nicely put in the corner where nobody could see them. And so what I realized was everybody was doing this because everybody heard it. Go visit loan officers. They will just send you business. They'll make you money. So I realized that I was really competing with a lot of agents. And, you know, being the guy new in the business, no money, how was I going to do that? So I went back to my office and I thought, how can I differentiate myself from all these other agents that are out there doing the same thing that I am? And what I decided to do was something really crazy, and it was build relationships with these loan officers. At this time I was, 24 years old, and these other guys were 40, 50 years old. How was I going to build a relationship with them? I was still talking about sports and all that stuff and hanging out with my buddies. How was I going to connect with these loan officers? And so what I decided to do was figure out a way, how could I just spend time with them? And so I, again, went back to my office and just really thought, how can I do this? And what came to me was pizza. What if I could provide them lunch every day, or at least, per brokerage, at least once a week, just sit in their location and just talk to them. Maybe I wouldn't even talk about insurance. Maybe I would just be there so I could get to know everybody. So the first thing I did, I called the local pizza place, and I said, I'm a new guy in business and I really am going to be building relationships with these people, but I can't afford to spend much on pizza. What kind of deal could you get me if I commit to a lot of pizza each week? And so I remember the guy down the street, he gave it to me for $5 a pizza. And so the next step was, how could I get invited into their branches to bring these pizzas? And so what I did, I learned that it was the person at the front desk that would make these decisions. They were the gatekeeper. So once I spent a few months getting to know this gatekeeper, I would, really had just become friends with them and built relationships with them, which is what I was going to then do with the loan officers that I so wanted to connect with. So at that point, I just asked him, would it be okay with you if I brought lunch to the branch? And nobody had a problem because I had built rapport with them and just, again, had a relationship with them. So then what this turned into was me doing this every single day. So every day of the week, Monday through Friday, I would get 4 pizzas, bring it to one brokerage from 11 to 1 o'clock, and then 1:30 to 3 o'clock, I would bring 4 more to another branch. So that is 8 pizzas a day, almost 50 a week. And when I tell this story, people just don't understand how I could do that every week. And that is really the difference in why I was able to build my business this way. It's because I saw that it's about building relationships, but I also saw it was about consistency. Like I said earlier, when I would go into these offices, I would see every other insurance agent in the city had been there, but they hadn't taken time to get to know these people, their kids' names, their stories, their hobbies. They hadn't connected with them. They had just walked in, throwing some business cards on the table, went back to their office and wondered why their email, or at that time their fax machine, wasn't lighting up with a binder request. So often I go around and I give this talk to other agents and other staff members, and they walk out of our meeting saying, I'm in. I'm going to go network with loan officers too. This is how Jeremy built his business. And they do it 1 or 2 times. They do the same thing that I talk about in this discussion. They go in there, drop off some business cards, and they don't get a binder request the first 2 weeks, and they quit. And I'm telling you, this can absolutely change your business if you will commit to it and do it on a regular basis. I always tell people at least 6 months. You want to give a specific branch at least 6 months before you say it's not working. Now you might waste some time, you might waste some money on some, but you know what? If you're doing this right, you'll make some great friends along the way. 20 years later, I would say my 20 best friends are all loan officers that I met back in 1997 when I was doing this every single day. How cool is that, that our job can actually be just making friends with people? If you really commit to working with loan officers, this is something that will build your long-term business so that you don't have to do a lot of that stuff down the road. My 2 takeaways I would love to have you learn from this are consistency and relationships. Be consistent with this, commit to it for an extended period, and just go build some fun relationships, and you will see your business take off, I promise.